Guys, it's that time where I show you guys how to win in Season 3. This season is especially difficult because my skills have started to dwindle due to the amount of sweat in game, and I'm sure you guys are experiencing this as well. When we pop onto the LTMs, they ain't there. My favourite LTMs that I always play, the spy games, have gone, and you guys probably want to know how to unlock that umbrella. So I've come up with a plan and a strategy. It's going to help you guys get a guaranteed win in solo on public matches, not comp. Try this on comp, you'll get absolutely wrecked. But on solo, this is going to work for you guys. So let's prepare. As I begin to queue in and obviously get into the game, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? How is this going to work? Well, the strategy for this game is a little bit different from what we usually do in these how to win videos. Now, we're definitely going to be playing a little bit different from our usual style. Kind of goes with the skin, I guess. Looks a bit like a trash can. So hopefully it goes pretty well. And here we begin. So you want to go and focus this location, which is going to be Jules. Now, my biggest tip to do this is to actually land straight at the phone box, which we're going for now, and that is what you guys need to do to gain access to obviously the disguise, which is going to allow you to get Jules very quickly and get on out of here, because this is like the new Tilted Towers. This place, there's about 20 people every single game that land in here. It's crazy. So head to this box here, turn in to one of the shadow henchmen and get inside that building, and let's go and find Jules. Alright, so usually Jules is on the upper layer, or she can be in here, but simply get yourself a weapon, get ready to go and find her. So I go searching for it. You can see I'm listening out. I'm actually using this feature where my sound is displayed on screen, which is on console, which is kind of a unique feature. It's kind of cool to use that if you can. I took out this guy here because he kind of got in the way. We got the elimination on him, and that's perfect for us. Obviously, you can do that if you think it's needed. I knew Jules was around here and I knew he was around here, so I had to do something to handle him. So I got rid of him pretty quickly, and now I just simply focus Jules as fast as possible, aiming for the head, obviously getting more damage in and taking her out. So now we get our Jules' grappler and Jules' drum gun, and to be honest, the drum gun isn't very good, and you'll see in this gameplay I do debate on what to do with this drum gun. Now it's time, guys, to get ready to get out of here. So I activate my shield just in case I get shot at when I'm trying to escape this location, because searching here is just basically, you are going to basically get eliminated. It's just so risky around here. There are so many people. So I simply make my way out of here as fast as possible using the grappler to escape, and I actually land on someone here and think, oh, I'm not taking him on. I ain't got time to switch to the drum gun, and I'm already on low because he got a few shots at me. So I just think to myself, let's just get out of here quickly with the grappler. I can see someone straight ahead of me over at Salty, and again, this is part of the strategy. So make a run either to Salty if no one's there, but if someone's there and you don't think you can handle the fight, just make a run even further. So in this situation, I've decided to go towards Pleasant Park because the circle isn't in Pleasant Park. Like, we're actually heading out of the storm right now, and obviously you've got this slurp van you can use here to regain health if you need to, and this will rotate you out to Pleasant. I usually advise going to Pleasant or Salty doing this strategy. So the next point on this strategy is to actually farm up floppers, because what we're going to need is we're going to need a lot of mats and a lot of floppers to get that heal off in the end game, and that's how we're going to win it, guys. We're going to win it in a heal off. We're going to aim for that heal off, alright? That's what we're going to try and do. Don't forget, guys, to smash that subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a lucky llama here, so thank you everyone for smashing subscribe, and much love and respect. If you aren't already subscribed, roughly 80% of you guys watching my videos aren't subscribed, so thank you everybody supporting me on that side of stuff. So we've managed to find a llama. Obviously this is going to give me a ton of mats already, but if you don't happen to find a llama, you're going to want to farm up as many mats as possible. Now I'm going to speed the video up to double the speed through this bit here so I can explain what's going on at a quicker pace. So simply what I'm trying to do is I'm looting up the entire Pleasant Park because no one's landed here. Now if someone's landed here, either just wait for them to move on, take them on, or move to another spot, but my aim here is to try and find a harpoon gun. So that's your aim. You need to try and find a harpoon gun so you can farm these floppers and obviously these slurpfish as fast as possible. If you manage to get slurpfish, that's even better, but if you don't manage to get slurpfish, don't worry about it. So you can see here what I'm trying to do is find a grappler. I'm going to every single, not grappler, sorry, harpoon gun. I'm going to every single building trying to find this harpoon gun, and as soon as I get access to the harpoon, we are set to go. So I've decided to drop the key card. I don't need that. I don't really need the drum gun either, so I'll probably come back here later and maybe pick up the key card if I have time to. If not, obviously I will leave the key card there, and it doesn't really matter. Same with the drum gun. The drum gun isn't that good in my opinion. I think the SMG, especially the new P90 version, is so much better. It's not really new, but obviously it's been added back in, and you can get it from henchmen. So I wouldn't really take the drum gun, but here you can see I'm already starting to farm floppers. So originally, I actually thought I'd be able to get 4 slurpfish, but it doesn't turn out very well. And this grappler is just so good for movement. It's just as good as the previous one, maybe even better now because of the glider redeploy. It may not be good in PvP situations and maybe not be good in the comp side of stuff because of the glider, but for doing this strategy, it's amazing. So at first, like I said, I thought I'd be able to farm up the slurpfishes, but then I realized I'm not going to get a ton of slurpfishes from doing this, so I decided to switch to the floppers as we go through with this. So simply find as many of these points as you can on the map to grab access to all of these fish. Now once you've got the fish, you obviously want to keep an eye on the storm. I accidentally missed the eye on the storm here, but it's okay because I have a bunch of fish around and I start to say to myself, let's get the floppers instead. So I grab a bunch of floppers, grab this slurpfish, heal myself up, get the floppers, and I'm thinking, what a waste of time going backwards and forwards there. Let's just get out of here with the floppers, get the minis back, drop the minigun, or consider taking the minigun for now because it's only a green SMG. If I find a blue one, I'll probably swap it for the, why did I say minigun? The drum gun. And swap that out for the drum gun and obviously keep switching through when you can. So I'm getting a few bandages, just healing up a little bit in the storm. I know that I'm going to go and have to find a campfire most likely, or maybe get another slurpfish or flopper if I can find one, but for now we're doing alright. And if I need to eat a flopper, I will. I'm farming up a bunch of mats for the end game because that's key. You're probably going to want about 1.5k mats plus just to keep outbuilding your opponent, even if you're below them or above them. Here I get lucky and find that campfire, so that's a really nice feature there. And then I decide to drop the drum gun for the SMG. I just don't think the drum gun's that good. I feel like the fire rate has not been decreased, but I feel like the damage has. It just doesn't feel the same as Midas's drum gun, so definitely something which I got rid of. Wasn't a fan of it really this season. So I start to get slurpfish and I regret dropping that slurpfish before and using it, but oh well. We keep with floppers as always because they're going to be the best in that heal off. So I'm speeding through this gameplay here because I'm rotating around the map. What I actually plan to do here is keep looking at my map in the mini map or opening up my big map and realizing where I can rotate to where enemies aren't going to be. You're going to want to continually do this with this glider. Just keep rotating around the edge of the storm and staying in the storm for as long as you can early game, like right on the edge of it as it moves in, is probably the best strategy. So now I'm kind of over here and I'm thinking to myself, we've got a good position, and this is when things start to get interesting. You can see I'm marking on the map where to go to next. It's actually south there of the rig, so I'm deciding to make my way over to there and try and get through Fortilla over here and make it over to the rig, and I rotate round. So this is where the game really starts to step up its pace because this is now the end game. We've made it to the end, and this is where you've got to survive into that heal off and wait until the storm gets to the end. Obviously, if you get a lucky elimination, which you'll see in some of the fights which I get into, I do get the chance of getting the elimination, but you'll see what happens. So we can see if I rotate over here, I use this for my grappler. This is what you got to do. You got to aim the grappler in the sea or aim the grappler on a few items to rotate around. Really good strategy, by the way, this guys, to guarantee yourself W's if you need them umbrella quickly or you just want to get some wins and have some fun. It's a great strategy to guarantee yourself wins. So I'm rotating around again using this grappler. Then I get up here on the windmill, on the rig, and rotate up to the top of the rig. And I'm thinking to myself, we've got a good position here. No one's around here. I'm keeping my eyes out, listening out for them, looking on my screen as well, which detects audio. And then there's no one around at all in this situation. So now I'm thinking to myself, we've got to wait here for a little bit of time and get that positioning right. So I'm keeping my eyes out, looking to the sides, seeing, is there going to be any more loot in here? Could there potentially be maybe a med kit, maybe a few med kits that I could use, or some big pots that I could take instead of the minis? Maybe I'm looking around, maybe I might need them if I get shot at. So I'm kind of looking around thinking, what could we grab here if necessary? And at this moment in time, there isn't too much. I'm kind of just getting an idea, and I start to think maybe I should farm up a few mats, but to be honest, this sort of material is not going to give me much at all. I just kind of farmed it anyway just to get like 10 or so metal. A little bit pointless, to be honest, but I'm in a good position. There's no one really behind me. I can't see anyone over there, and I'm looking at the counter, and there's only a few players left, so we know that we've got a good position. And now we need to identify where these players are so we can know where to rotate to next. So I'm starting to think, I'm jumping around, just getting a little bit nervous a little bit because obviously I haven't got any eliminations other than that first elimination, and that obviously was a very easy elimination to pick off. I had to take it though to get the Jules weapons, as we guys know. So I can kind of see right now we're in a good position. I'm building a little bit of a box here just to kind of cover myself so I don't get sniped by some absolute try hard sweat with a sniper, which you can get. You get absolutely awesome people with the snipers. I've had this strategy ruined on me once before because I forgot to build a box. I was kind of looking around, just got pinged with a hunting rifle, which is just crazy the damage that thing can do. So this guy here, I'm aiming at him with my scar. I'm trying to get the elimination, but unfortunately it does get stolen, so there's not much I can do there, so it doesn't count as my elim. I wish it did, but I just don't get it, so unfortunately it gets stolen by that guy in that little box there. But that tells me there's guaranteed someone there, so I'm now thinking to myself, we're in a good position, there's only a few players left, we know that guy is rotating into that loot, so I start to ping at him again, try and get a few shots off at him, trying to do a little bit of damage. I'm taking down his shield, which is good, obviously, because I know he's going to be having less shields, and getting that damage off is crucial in this situation. Now I've got a good position, as you guys know. I position myself in a perfect spot, and it happens to be a little bit lucky that the circle's kind of moving into the center of that, and I can get a little bit of a good position. So I see the shark going over to him, and I'm thinking to myself, here's a really good chance, maybe the shark's going to go for him, but it actually looks like the shark went for the loot instead, because as you guys know, the shark picks up the loot. It's a new feature, sharks can pick up loot, and if you eliminate the shark, it drops that loot. So that's pretty interesting to see that the shark is going for the loot and not him. I wish it did go for him, but it didn't. So yeah, now I know that roughly that guy's there in that metal box or wooden box-ish to the right, and then there's a guy over in the distance over at them structures. You can see him rotating in. He's a tiny little dot, but I'm aiming at him, trying to get a few hits off at him. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to, and I get absolutely pinged right there. Like, I thought I was behind cover, but obviously not. And now I'm a little bit nervous because I don't have any shield or anything at all to heal this extra bit up. So let's go and have a look around and see if we can find some shield, obviously, because we're going to need this for this endgame fight. So as you guys can see, now we need to go and grab a shield. So we're going to search around. I know there's a harpoon gun down here from previously looking. So I'm thinking maybe we should take this and use it on the water. Try and pick up maybe a slurpfish. I just get unlucky with it though. I don't manage to get any slurpfishes. I was hoping for a slurpfish from this one, but it just didn't give me it. And the range wasn't really working. So I think I decided to drop down a little bit, try and get a better angle on it. And obviously I've got a few of these slurpfish or floppers, should I say, which I can use if I take a little bit of damage from the storm, but I don't get anything major from that either. So I'm still on 150, which is okay. It's not ideal really. I like to be on 200 just to make 100% certain I have that full shield popped, but unfortunately right now I do not. So we're in a situation now where we're kind of pushing in because the guy's been eliminated. We're in a 1v1 situation and we're ready to try and take this guy, and I'm thinking, you know, I could probably take him right now, and my aim is really to get into the heal off, but I've got a good position. I start spraying him down with my scar, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm not the best at this in these 1v1 situations. I ain't no pro, as you guys know. I don't usually play the Battle Royale solo, duos, or squads, but I wanted the umbrella, and I know this strategy works because I've done it about 4 to 5 times, and it's worked like 4 out of 5 times apart from the time I got sniped with the hunting rifle. This is probably the best footage of it I have though. So I'm doing this pretty well, and you know, I'm in a good position, and I'm kind of getting the height on him, you know, just doing some standard building, nothing too experimental or crazy that people do, nothing that would get me into the Fortnite World Cup anyway. I'm just simply placing structures and using them as cover. But, you know, I'm kind of building around, taking the high ground, trying to get a good position up here, get ready for the heal off. But I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? The server, the circle, should I say, on this server is just so big right now. We've got ages to go. And now I'm getting a little bit worried that he might knock my structures down. Now, luckily enough, the grappler I do have will deploy a glider if I fire it at the floor, so I should be good. Like, I'm not going to take any damage from it, which makes it better in my opinion for this strategy than the previous glider, because obviously the previous grappler, because you'll take damage from that. So now this is the intense part. This is when things start to get a little bit different and a little bit weird, because now this guy is just a 1v1. He's not coming out at all. Like, if he was like one of them proper tryouts, they'd be proper coming for you and trying to eliminate you, and obviously you've just got to keep building, moving around them, fighting back as much as you can. And this guy is pretty good. He's probably better than me in skill, possibly. And this is just a standard lobby. I have about 400 wins plus in total across Battle Royale, maybe more. I don't know my exact wins, and it always puts me in lobbies with really good players who are like turtling up and everything at the end. And this isn't even comp, this is just public matches, just casual gaming, which you guys, probably the majority of you watching this video, do just the casual side of stuff and don't really play in comps. Fair enough, if you play in comps you won't need this video guide, but you can see now I'm just pushing up with a standard ramp push. I'm sure many of you already know how to do that, but if you don't, you can just simply stay down at the bottom. And obviously when you're up here now, I'm thinking to myself, this is it. We can now build the circle high ground because I've got a bunch of mats. My structure is made out of metal on the bottom. if he tries knocking it down, there's about probably 6 to 8 structures connected, and I also have the grappler which deploys the glider, so if I get knocked down I can use that, or I could even use my launch pad, which probably isn't really worth using, but the grappler is going to save me in any single fall. So now I'm trying to get my eyes out for him, like where could he possibly be? I can hear him, I can see his footsteps, and I just don't know 100% what he's doing. Like, is he healing up? Maybe. Is he trying to get a better position? Possibly. He just seems to be camping down there. So now I'm trying to get a few shots in. I know he's down there, I can hear him knocking down my structure, so I start to try and, I think to myself, you know, it's got a little bit of walls still connected, he's not knocking them down at any time soon. I know he's in there, so I decide to actually spray at him, get a few hits on him, nothing too major though, like nothing that's going to absolutely affect him, just mainly his structures. So he's just going to heal up obviously and get himself in a different position. So I'm a little bit nervous about being all the way up here because my mats in metal are out, I'm down to wood, and he could probably easily shoot it down if he does. So I decide, you know, we're going to have to drop down at some point. Where are we going to do this? Where are we going to drop down? And I start to hear the music for the shark, and that's a little bit nervous as well. I don't want to be getting eaten by a shark end game. There's a bunch of water around here as well, so I've got to be careful. Now this is when I get a really good spot. Right here, he's probably not going to spot me here. He probably still thinks I'm on top of the builds, and he actually takes not exactly the high ground. I guess it is the high ground in this situation, but he probably thinks I'm still above him. So I get a really good spot here, and now I can actually rotate downwards, and he's just got no chance, and we can get to this heal off in the end game. So sitting here works pretty well, and this is what you've got to do, guys. You've got to confuse your opponent. Confusing them allows you to get that easy W. They've got no idea what's going on. They're thinking, why is this guy not even trying to push high ground? What's he doing? And now the circle's just how we want it, ready for that heal off. So I start to lower down a little bit, start to get my structures in, and this is it, guys. This is the most intense moment we have. Now, if you can build more structures below me, you could possibly do that to confuse him even more. I'm not the best builder, so I kind of stay on this level here. It's kind of okay, but if he does drop down, he's probably going to be able to actually knock me out. But now we're kind of in a situation where he's going to have to go in the storm, and it does 10 damage in total, and I have 4 floppers. You're almost going to win any heal off with this amount of heal. Most likely the other player is not going to have this unless they're doing the same strategy. Then it could be down to like medkits and campfires. But here I get my flopper ready, and I can hear him. He's actually coming for me. I eat this flopper as quickly as possible. He breaks into my structure from underneath. I decide to build the stairs, and there we have it. Boom! He gets absolutely wrecked. The heal off takes him on. I get a little bit of a floss in there, and an absolute W for you guys. And that is the strategy. This strategy is going to guarantee you that umbrella, which I know so many of you guys want. The umbrella's awesome. Fortnite's hit a point to me where it's so hard to build and build fight, and I simply do not have the time to practice building and editing. So this strategy, using that grappler, using the movement, using the rotation, using the healable items, is going to get you that W, whatever skill you are. Pro, noob, brand new to the game, which is technically a noob, or someone like me who's mid-level, probably below mid now. But you know, it's a great strategy. Try it out, guys, for yourselves. If it does help you get that W and get that umbrella, let me know in the comments. If you'd like to see a normal how to win style video using more of aggressive style gameplay, I'll piece it together for you. I still can play like that, just not as good as you will see with pros, etc. I'm not a comp player, as you guys know. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Smash that like on the video, and I'll see you guys in future content. Once again, this is postboxpat signing out.